So, welcome to another episode of Paul's Asian Adventure. Hey, in this episode, I wanted to discuss a few things. One of the things I want to discuss is why I'm leaving Dumaguete and if I'm leaving Dumaguete for good or if I have decided, uh, to stay in Cebu and then move back to Dumaguete. I'll discuss all that and I'll discuss also the reasons why I would leave Dumaguete and the reasons why I would stay in Cebu or move to Bohol, which is also a consideration. So I've been here in Cebu City for almost a week now, and to be honest, I just love it. The change in scenery is something that I have sorely needed. I didn't realize how much I needed before I left Dumaguete. Once I was on the ferry on the way to Cebu, I was just so excited, like a child before Christmas, just to get out of Negros, get out of Dumaguete, get out of going to the same restaurants, seeing the same faces, going on the same trips everywhere. It's really nice just to be able to hit the road. You know, it's driving a motorbike is something I just love, and I wish I had taken up that earlier in my life. And thanks to my neighbor Peter, who convinced me to buy one. I'll be forever grateful to him. But yeah, I really enjoyed. I also got advice from another friend of mine. His name is Sean, to take the west side of Cebu to go to Cebu City instead of taking the east side. And very thankful for that advice too, because the scenery was beautiful. However, I did not put the camera on my helmet, so I didn't record. I was stressed, I was tired, so I don't have any video of that. This video here is driving through the mountain. If you're coming from the Cebu City, you'll be going in the direction of Toledo. There was some really beautiful scenery here, and the air was so fresh. So this is a place I want to explore more. I want to see if there's some hiking trails there, and it was really cold up there too, so really really nice. They had pine trees, more of a Nordic type of scenery when it came to the nature compared to being in Cebu City or being on the coastal side. Anyway, that's not really what I wanted to talk about. Dumaguete and Cebu City. Okay, so I've lived about a year and a half. What is it? A year and a half now? 2 years in Dumaguete. And to be honest, Dumaguete is nice. It is a place where I could imagine a few years ago it would be a perfect place to settle down. However, there are many negatives with Cebu City and Negros in general. I'll cover two of the aspects that make me not want to live in Negros. One, or Dumaguete, sorry. One is the traffic. The traffic has become horrendous. And this is, just after pandemic. Once the tourism starts coming in, it'll become even worse. I've never really lived in a place where there's as much pollution as there is in Dumaguete. I come home from driving the bike maybe for an hour inside Dumaguete, and when I take a cotton bud and put some alcohol and wipe my face, it's literally black on that cotton bud. So there's a lot of pollution. I can imagine that stuff going down in my lungs, and that can't be affecting my health too well. So that's number one. Number two is there's a lot of foreigners in Dumaguete, and there's just going to be more foreigners once it opens up. And I just think a place with less foreigners is better for me. And so that's the two reasons. The third reason is basically, and then the third reason is the way people drive in Negros. I mean, I didn't realize that there were different driving cultures from one island to another, but I have found that people in Cebu drive much more carefully, and the people with cars take much more consideration to the people on their motorbikes. when you're driving in Dumaguete on the national highway, these guys are taking on your going past other cars on your lane, barreling down towards you, 60, 70 kilometers per hour, and you're expected to move. So, I mean, if you look down at your GPS for a second and somebody's coming towards you, I mean, it could end pretty bad. Let me put it that way. And I just think the traffic situation, the, the way people drive, the pollution, it's just a lot of negatives with Dumaguete right now that I just don't think it's the best place for me. Now, there are many nice things with living in Dumaguete, as I mentioned in other videos: the nature, the access to the ports, the able to get it to beaches very quickly. So there's a lot of good things, and if you want to see those good things, watch this video up here, appearing right now after this video is done. So what is it about Cebu City? Now I've only been here a week. But I did live here for 2-3 months before, but I lived in a different area. So what is it about Cebu City that I like? Well, there are many considerations for me. Is that I'm going to be doing quite a bit of traveling over the next 12 to 24 months, hopefully. I want to blog about different cities. I want to go different places in the Philippines, and eventually I'll be going to Malaysia and Vietnam as well. So that gives me easy access to get to different places because Cebu City has a major airport with international access to other countries and national access to all the major cities. So that's a big advantage. The other one is that they have a big port, and those boats go to Manila, they go to Negros, they go to Bohol, many other islands. So you can take a boat to an island. You can probably hop on with your bike and go to another island and tour that island. So that is a big advantage for me as a blogger and as a person who wants to explore the Philippines and other countries here in Southeast Asia. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now because there's a lot of good videos coming out. The other thing is there's two more things to take into consideration besides, the driving culture, the less traffic, the less pollution. Another thing to take into consideration is the medical. They have really good hospitals here in Cebu, so I would be close to a good hospital if something should happen. Now, I'm in really good health. I don't have any heart issues or any issues at all except for my left knee. But anything bad can happen to anyone at any time. So it's good to be beside a good healthcare facility. So I'm taking that into consideration as well. Now, the last but not the least at all is the food, which is very important for me, but extra important for Mia. She just loves restaurants and she loves food, and yet she's keeps a awesome shape, unbelievable. And by the way, talking about Mia, uh, um, Filipina Life with Mia. That's Filipina Life with Mia. It'll be in the description. Her YouTube channel is taking off, and she is so thankful to you guys and everybody else that subscribed. And she has some really good content. It's funny, one of the guys commented on my YouTube that she has much better content than I have, that I'm just boring and me is much more interesting, which is actually kind of true. But anyway, so back to the food situation. The food situation here in Cebu is excellent. They have all kinds of restaurants here: Korean, Japanese, Middle Eastern, Indian, multitude of restaurants of the same cuisine, and the prices are incredibly good. I mean, I went today and I had a Korean lunch, and it was 160 pesos, so $3.20. So say $4 with a tip for lunch, and that's a good lunch. That included a drink as well. So, I mean, not alcohol, non-alcoholic beverage, and so prices are reasonable here. Now the rent is more expensive than Dumaguete. If I'm going to get the same place as I have in Dumaguete, I'm probably going to have to up it a $200-300 more dollars, which is fine. I will do that. But also, there's a lot more on the island Okay, back to the food situation. Also, there are a lot of supermarkets here with different types of spices, different types of meat, olives, all the kind of stuff that they don't have necessarily in Dumaguete. So you get that. You can cook a lot more dishes. You can tour a lot more, in Cebu because there's a lot more places to see in Cebu than in Negros Oriental. So all in all, for me, Cebu is starting to look like a place I want to settle. Have I made that decision 100%? No, but I'm really leaning towards that, and Mia will be coming here sometime in April, and then we will probably spend a month or two together here, and then maybe take 2 to 4 weeks in Bohol to kind of assess our final decision. But I think with our plans to travel the Philippines and vlog, I think with that, I think Cebu will be our base. So we'll be keeping an apartment here and then traveling different places in the Philippines. So that's the plan. Of course, plans do change because of things that happen that we cannot control, and also things that we can control, but sometimes we change our mind. Now, there are a few things that I'm going to miss from Dumaguete. Obviously, I have a few good friends there. My best buddy, Peter, who's also my neighbor. It's really nice to have a best buddy that's your neighbor. But, in life, one has to go out and adventure. So that's the plan so far, and hopefully you'll keep watching and keep enjoying my videos. And I'll be touring more of Cebu, going to different places. So there'll be a lot more videos coming. I'm actually going to be interviewing someone tomorrow, and that interview should be up by Friday or Saturday. And I'll be also doing some condo reviews, condo prices, and nature and restaurants, and of course touring in general. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the updates, and I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and like. That really helps me on the YouTube algorithm, especially the sharing part and the commenting part and the liking part. All of it helps. So don't forget to do that, and thank you so much for supporting my channel and also for supporting Mia's channel. See you on the next video. Take care. Bye bye. So I'm gonna let the motorbike footage roll, and you can enjoy that with some music in the background. It's about a few more minutes long, so enjoy.